That heifer right there just don't even care.
Save yourself now.
Action.
Hey,
What do you say, folks? Hope everybody having a good Sunday evening this evening.
yes.
I was telling her a minute ago, it's the first day of the week.
And I'm not ready for this.
We're not ready for the second one.
I'm so not ready for Monday morning.
Lord, no. Yeah. We whooped this weekend.
Yeah, we are. And I just finished, like literally 20 minutes ago, finished the mountain of laundry I had to do. Because we're not going to get a day off for at least 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
3 weeks.
But other than that, we're doing all right.
Yeah. We thought we were going to get to play Beekeeper this weekend because it was 95 degrees and sunny all week long. Not a cloud in the sky while we're working, praying for the clouds. And then it's rained all weekend. Like literally all weekend. We thought we were going to get to play bees.
Yeah. But thankfully, we did have low humidity this week for the most part. So it wasn't, the dreadful, oh, good grief, here we go
Yeah.
kind of day.
Not tornado weather.
No. But
yeah, Lee, he had to switch to this one because his Let Your Love Flow shirt, he has worn so much, and I've washed it so much, there's none of the sticker left on the shirt.
yeah.
It's just a gray t-shirt now, so he switched to this one for the live shows.
I'll be getting with you soon on another Let Your Love Flow shirt.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was looking at it the other day. I ended up turning it into a work shirt since all the, was going up of it.
But it lasted a while. Because, literally, I've washed that shirt like 57 times from him wearing it.
I was looking at it at work the other day and just happened to look down, and there was a few little specks of yellow and print left off. I'm talking about it. It wasn't much at all, but yep.
All right.
Appreciate you. Like I say, we'll be ordering another one, brother.
Yeah.
That way I can wear it out too. Come on up, Jasper.
Put in the chat, is there a giveaway somewhere tonight? Because Tim's wearing his lucky shirt.
No, not tonight. We're working on that, but still for the 1 year Gunline Sunday fellowship.
Yeah, our anniversary was Tuesday.
But fellowship, the main key in our chats here. But
yeah, I know, Danae. I was praying we wouldn't have that kind of trouble again, but we figured out what the problem was. For the rest of y'all that don't know, we were planning on doing a members only live yesterday afternoon, and it just would not work. I don't know how many times we hit that go live button because that was the only button Tim could push. And it just would not work. It would go live for like 2 seconds and then just shut everything down. Well, YouTube failed to let us know when it gave us the option for doing that if you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subs to be able to do a members only live off your phone. You can do it with a desktop and webcam before you have 1,000 subscribers, but we were not aware of that. So We're trying to figure out how to get a webcam set up for our computer so we can do that. But we're so close to 1,000 subs, we may not even have to. We're at like 940 something subs,
Yeah,
which is unbelievable.
yeah, about 50 or so subs away from 1,000. So share it out, get us up to the 1,000.
And we can do a members only live.
If not beforehand, how we figured that out is I was doing some Googling after my tangent last
He
night
had him a tangent.
of, okay, how can we bypass YouTube? Simply do it on StreamYard. But apparently you can do it on StreamYard, but you got to push a whole bunch of other buttons. I have to do a test run to make sure it works.
Yeah, because the only reason we were doing it on YouTube instead of StreamYard was because we couldn't figure out how to set it to members only in StreamYard. But
We do apologize, y'all, to the members.
yeah, we do. But y'all should be used to our technical difficulties by now.
But trust me, I made a fuss last night. And
Understatement of the week.
I didn't say no ugly words. I just fussed all night long. She'd ask me a question on something and look at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still mad about it. And she's just like, okay. And we carry on with whatever the subject was because she knows how to deal with me and knows when I'm to the point of not talking, but I was wanting to talk about that for sure.
Oh, he vented for a while. He vented.
So, one of my biggest things, I'll say this, and I'm not going to get too far out on where I went last night, but one of the biggest things fired me up with it is folks is paying a membership, and God love every one of you. We greatly, greatly appreciate everybody that donates and does the memberships and all that good stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, YouTube changed what its laws and provisos, whatever it's got going on. But yet, they have no problem taking out X amount of dollars of every time somebody does a membership or puts a sticker or whatever, all the love gifts, donations, whatever you want to call it, on there. They have no problem taking that money out. But we can't communicate with our members unless we're on a big fancy computer. You should be able to talk to them anytime.
Well, Carl's feeling you. He said at 10, I had a Saturday like that. My snap lasted 3 hours.
Yeah.
Look, you want something to make you smile?
Okay, I'm done with that. What?
Danae said she's the ice in your tea.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I sure appreciate that.
Yeah, seriously, Barry Kind Beans. That's the look he's giving me. And this isn't even his chair. His chair's over there.
Oh,
He said there's a human in my chair.
and he's staring at the other one over there like,
He's pouting.
what are you doing? But I don't know if Phil's in here, but I hope he laid down on that train horse.
I hadn't seen Phil yet.
But
and Phil was getting a good laugh. He knew Buttons was ranting while we were trying to go.
Oh, yeah.
On and on.
He was definitely feeding off of it, that's for sure. I got a kick out of it as well, bro.
He was probably laughing his tail off at us.
Well, because the thing kept saying, try again. I'd hit try again. If I hit try again one time, I know I've done it 75 back to back.
Because it would say we were live. And then it would just tell us, it wasn't even telling us we couldn't do it. It was just saying connection lost over and over, no connection. But anyway, we're going to move on from that. We do apologize to our members. We are going to try again, I promise.
We will, absolutely. But since I'm done with my fuss,
you can start smiling now.
Tell everybody I was fixing to say good morning.
Since you're the handsomest man in the world.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
here we go
smile.
with that.
No, seriously, y'all. We had a lady. She's just started coming to our church here recently, but her mom and stepdad come. They've been there for years, but this lady had just had surgery, and it's been like 6 weeks since she was able to come. Well, she was there today, and I guess she didn't realize me and Tim were married. And I sat down and was talking to her. Well, Tim come brought me my phone, and she looked at me. She goes, "Is that your husband?" I was like, "Yeah, that's my husband." She goes, "Girl, that's the handsomest man I've ever seen." I was like, "I know that, but he has no idea."
Thank
But
you, ma'am. I appreciate
I've been
that.
giving him fits. I thought it was cute.
She had. Making me blush all day long.
Uh-huh.
Tell you like it, lady at church. Anyway,
Moving on.
moving
You don't
on.
want to hear about how pretty he is.
Let me
Start
go
doing your shout out.
tell everybody, hey. Got Miss Deb in here, the Sun Bunny, Michael Tangway, Carl and his 2B brats, little Miss Haley.
Yeah. I
Uh,
told her hey in the chat.
let's see, yeah, Michael Tangway, Chris the Bow Man. Brother, once again, we wish we could have spent some more time
Yes.
on you visit here. Lord willing, you get back out this way. We can,
Things will work out better with our work schedule, and we won't be coming off a roof and smelling like a pig pen when we get there to meet you.
maybe we can kind of hand into cooking up a good meal as well.
I had plans on that, but it just didn't work.
Who else here? We got good brother Randy there, Tar Heel Beekeeping.
Blaine with a new E.
No, yeah, that Texican there.
Only.
Oh, you way ahead of me.
You just passed over Lee.
Oh,
Right there.
my bad. Lee, Richard.
Jack
Danae.
and Danae.
Yeah. Good to see y'all, brothers and sisters. Who else here? Miss Sarah. Sarah's Happy Hive. What'd you think of that little message she sent you, Sarah? She showed it to me, and I was like, "That's about right there."
Mm-hmm.
Russell Lehman. Good to see you, bro. Who else? Barry Kind Bees. David Hoskins. Good to see you.
Hey, David, how's that baby doing?
Hallelujah Be Born. Pastor Larry, Miss Jan, Miss Leona.
Our favorite Miss Leona.
Mm-hmm.
You skipped over Keith.
Did I?
Half track.
Uh-oh, you sure did. Sorry about that there, Larry. Larry. Keith, Half Tracks. Steve Amos. I'm rummaging through here mighty slow tonight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I missing here?
Brian and Jen.
There we go,
They
Flower
came
Street.
in.
Hope she had a wonderful birthday last weekend.
Yeah. I saw your post on the Book of Faces. Looked like y'all's market went really good for you today.
Darren, the Pennsylvania beekeeper up there.
Hey,
Good to see you, bro. Tom, good to see you. Hey, who else? Who else in here?
I missed Darren in the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Kimberly.
John
And-
Searly.
Okay, that's
New
a new
name.
name.
Appreciate you coming in.
Welcome.
Miss Kimberly Smith. Hey,
Sarah.
and Sarah there. Oh,
We got
John.
2 Sarahs tonight. Well, Sarah Bird's been coming in. Oh, Senor. Yeah. I couldn't help it. I laughed out loud.
John, I'm going to start your comment whenever we get into really get to yakking about bees. We'll get somebody in. There's some fine beekeepers in here that can definitely lead you in the right direction. Mr. JW, good to see you, Captain.
Hey, Mr. JW.
All right, on the beekeeping end. Yes, we have plans to go for the ones that's been with us for a while. Y'all know, y'all hear us talk about old Lance. We was gonna go to Lance's, pull everything he had, cause the tallow is blooming like crazy in these parts. And it's like, you got some first stage, if you will, that's pretty well blooming out nice and pretty. And there's some stuff that's kind of lagging behind a week or so. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty lengthy flow on the tallow run on top of, I don't know if they getting anything off. I was watching Mr. Bob Benny's video today, and he's saying how some folks see the bees pulling on the elderberry, some folks don't, that kind of thing. But the elderberry is blooming, the chinaberry is blooming, the saw palmetto is blooming, whole bunch of the, what was the tie at the river? What they, we said it last week. Anyway, we're gonna call it river tie.
That's gonna bug me. I can't remember.
What else? The mimosa is kind of starting to.
It's about done.
Yeah, it's losing a lot of its. I guess that pretty reddish pink that's on them blooms.
The vibrant colors, all the flames are starting to die off now.
But yeah, a lot of stuff blooming now.
You good?
Here at the house, y'all, somebody may make a fuss about me saying this here, but it's nothing bad. It's part of that, I guess. If you ask a 10 beekeepers question, you get 100 answers, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But y'all, I'm gonna tell you what. The splits we done down there in the horizontal hives, mid-March this year, each one of them was 2 frame splits. Walk away, boom, stuck them in there, brewed, food. That was it. Walked away from them. All right. 2 out of 3, as y'all know, we've talked about. We had swarms move in. They took them over. So the one little colony that no swarm came into, they made their own queen. She came back mated. And I'm going to tell y'all what.
She is killing it.
Yes.
She is smoking them other 2.
Yeah, I'm not lying. If I took the camera out there right now, I could promise you there's bearding going on in front of their entrance that is at least the circumference of a volleyball.
Yeah.
At least.
But what's crazy with that is they have the whole horizontal hive.
30 frames.
All 30 frames. We just open the whole thing up for them instead of 3 colonies like we normally run.
And I guess I could have showed it, but the short that we put out yesterday on what I titled that thing, undoubtedly they know better than we do. All right. A couple weeks ago, for the ones of you in the construction business that's done any of that metal roofing work, there's little foam closures that you put under ridge cap whenever you're doing a metal roof. It keeps rainwater from either being wind driven or hydraulic and up underneath that ridge cap. What I done is I cut one of them things in half, and that rascal fit perfect in one of those entrances. But what we was doing was closing off 2 of the 3 entrances for that 2 frame split because they done exploded so much. It was like, well, we give them the whole colony, the whole box. Let her have at it since she's doing so good. Went out there not too long ago and noticing the bees were chewing the foam off, or the foam, and making them an entrance. And I was,
opened it up.
Yeah. Done them like we did the colony a couple years ago in the other horizontal. All right, we thought we was helping them. So I just pulled the whole piece off. Y'all can dry your honey out. You can cool your colony. Have at it, girls. Well, then went out there the other day. And if any of y'all that watched that short, y'all can see they've got just about 3/4 of that entrance that I had closed off. Pretty well propolized. All the way across that thing. So it was one of them once again. Y'all know what you're doing. We're going to leave you alone.
Yeah.
But that particular 2-frame right there, that queen, I mean, she's doing great. So Lord willing, we was talking about maybe doing some splits off her, but
We don't have the drones anymore,
no.
which is weird for us.
Yeah, once again, don't know why they're not carrying the drones a little further in the season around here. And it's pretty well all you're seeing is, I mean, there's a few drones in there, but it ain't that heavy population that you want to see. So I think we're going to hold off on doing any splits off her because I don't want to take the chance of it just not working out, wasting resources.
Yeah, she's doing so good. We don't want to mess her up.
So, Lord willing, if she pulls through, coming out of winter next year, then we'll definitely be making some splits off of her and see if we can continue her bloodline as well as she's doing.
Because they're pretty gentle too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not crazy fussy.
Now, even a little nephew we talk about that wants to do the beekeeping, they come by the other day and Lord, if he asked if can I go to the bees, Uncle Tim and Handy Boo one time, he done it 100 times. So finally, his mama gave in, Handy Boo gave in, and I got up, went out there with him. And he had him a little bitty old spoon. He wanted to feed the bees. So we went out there and we put some honey in that T90 little spoon. He sat out there and he fed them bees. And now, granted, we was standing off to the side away from the entrance, but even the workers that were your field workers coming in, that they was just flying around us. They wasn't even bumping into us, anything like that. So most definitely, I think we're going to try to continue her bloodline if any way possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He still hadn't been stung,
No.
but he has learned really quick for a 7-year-old not to block the entrance and stand right in front of them. I mean, he was down there with his hand at the entrance feeding them, and Uncle Tim's the one that got popped in the face.
I sure did.
She got him right on the cheek.
Yep, I just carried on and finished feeding your bees that you got there, bud. But he come on back uphill telling his mama all about it and this and that. Y'all know how them babies getting into this stuff, but
Oh, that's my news. I didn't get stung by a bee. I wasn't messing with them, but I got to feel a sting again, y'all. We were, Uncle Tim got him a new toy.
We'll save that part.
A lady she sold her house and moving, and she had some stuff laying out in their yard that we could use for work. And she was like, yeah, I'll just go pick it up instead of me paying to haul it to the dump or whatever. But there was a swing on a stand, like it's on set, that she told us to take with us. And we were going to put it in the trailer, or on the trailer, and had no idea there was a wasp nest in that pipe or whatever the stand's made out of. And they had popped me 3 times before I even knew they were out around me. So I got to feel the burn for the first time in a year now, or a little over a year.
Thankfully, no issue.
No, thank God.
Now, we do know that, the wasps have a different venom than the honeybee and all that, but since everything happened with Hannah, last year, year before last. It's been kind of,
last spring. I think.
it's
Yeah.
been a little tense anytime she got stung. But so far, the red wasp ain't giving her no problem. The guinea wasp is what got her the other day.
Yeah.
So no issues on that. I wish we could kind of just do a turnaround on the honeybee. And
Lord, I
or not.
wish. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, they hurt afterwards. I still got a big old knot where they got me. But it was so awesome to feel a sting for a change.
Oh, yeah. We was across state line over in Mississippi, and she talking about, you know, I finally got stung, and thank goodness, no problems with it, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I feel so much better about that. And, well, there's another one we can mark off, and I started naming off the other ones she ain't got stung by yet. She didn't want to hear that.
Well, I don't want to try a hornet. I have no desire to feel that kind of sting. But it was kind of, I mean, I've never in my life heard somebody say it was fun, but it was kind of fun feeling a sting again for a change.
Ed in here?
Yeah, he just came in. He said he's been having technical difficulties.
What?
I told him, we feel you there.
What? Well, there's that other Texican coming. There's that troublemaking Texican coming in here. You got to watch that one. Good to see you, bro. But Ed, whenever we was going to pick up all that stuff that she was just talking about, I'm gonna have to send you a picture of my new motorcycle.
Yeah,
Cause buddy,
that's what he got.
the lady, we was going over there for some baker scalpel. And the lady's like, well, y'all come back here and there's some other stuff you can take with you. And I just happened to see this, we'll say motorcycle, sitting off to the side.
I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
It's a motorcycle. I'll get to it in a minute. But
oh, no, thank you, Philip. I appreciate the offer, but I'm good, buddy. I'll catch and mail you a small scorpion.
oh,
I don't know about that. I'm not that brave.
yeah, that may be a little pain right there. Dealing with
Yeah,
pain.
that's what I'm thinking. I ain't never felt one of them.
But
back to the motorcycle.
Back to the motorcycle, because I'm excited as I'll get out for it.
Yeah, I almost took a video just to put on YouTube. I told my daddy he looked like a 10-year-old kid. The grin on his face when he got it running.
And that's the lady. I said, are y'all getting rid of this motorbike here? And she said, well, yeah, you can take it with you. And I was like, well, when's the last time the thing's been crunked? Oh, about a month ago. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I needed to hear in my brain.
Oh, yeah. Them bells was going ding, 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 ding.
And Hannah was like, well, are you sure you need that? And I'm like, you're not talking me out of this one.
Oh, I was
No.
trying to gently drop a hint, like, what are you going to do with that?
So, got that puppy home, filled that rascal up. The only thing right now that's wrong with it was the throttle cable broke. But there was a way to run it still. So I filled that thing up with gas. She fired up the first 2 pulls, people. Let me tell you what. I got that rascal going, and I drove around the yard, 100 laps. Then I told her, I said, look, I'm going down a dirt road. Open this thing up. See what it'll do.
I was like, I promise you, if you wreck that thing and hurt yourself, I will finish killing you. Like, no doubt about it. I will wring your neck.
So, I'm going to send you a picture here of that there motorcycle out there. All it is, people, it's one of the big mini bikes.
Yeah. That's why I said motorcycle might be an exaggeration there, but technically, I guess it is.
It was fun. I mean, if I'm going through a midlife crisis, I can't wait for the next one because I had so much fun with that. So yeah. I got me a throttle cable coming. I got a kit to take the governor off. Talked to an old boy at church today. He said, we can get that joker running about 60 miles an hour, Tim.
was like, you can't even take it on the road. Where are you going to drive at 60 miles an hour?
So,
Oh, yeah, Danae, I got a feeling a new profile pic is coming. Yeah, PJ said we need a motorcycle video.
we get y'all one, especially whenever I take that governor off and put all that good stuff on there, and we get that puppy running 60 so mile an hour.
It's like all the way to the scene of the crash. Yeah. Oh yeah, so he's already got a plan. He's got all these parts coming to soup it up or whatever, and we gotta stay with my grandma this weekend. So he's gonna take it up there on the trailer because she's got 20 acres of orchard he can fly through. Yeah, Mr. Dan said it's not as fun as a cannon though, Buttons.
You right about that. It's close.
Oh my gosh, Keith. He said I have a Honda 50 mini trail I call my hog. My wife just laughs at me.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about, brother. And it puts a smile on your face, too.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, Ed. He said a new opening for the live.
Oh, listen. All right, back on the beekeeping. I just couldn't wait to share that with y'all. I knew some of you would.
He has been busted at the seams, y'all.
I can't wait to tell my friends.
He tried to get me on it with him. I was like, there's nowhere to sit. It's literally only one butt fitting on that seat at a time.
She looked at me off the porch and was just like, no.
Have fun. I'm not getting on there with you. Especially not if you get that thing going 60 miles an hour.
Okay. I had fun.
Yeah, he did. It was fun watching him, though. I hadn't seen him grin like that for that long in a while.
Well, all right. One more thing and I'll get off of it for you.
PJ said I can talk mini bikes and motorcycles all night.
Well, there we go. We got a conversation after the beekeeping gets over.
Yeah. Keith said a sidecar. I don't know if that thing's big enough to hook a sidecar to.
Hey, when we get the governor put on it, and according to the brother at church, if we get a bigger sprocket for the front of it,
yeah,
we can get more torque, and we can really get down the road with it. I told him, I said, I just want a happy medium right now. I don't want to be IndyCar yet with it. But the day we got it and come home, I was taking the garbage over next door to my pa-in-law's because that's where the garbage man picks up my pa-in-law and ours right there at one driveway. And I was excited to get out, and I was telling him about it. He just looked at me, and you just have to know my pa-in-law. He's a very reserved and quiet, wonderful, wonderful man. And he said, Tim, just remember you're not 15 years old anymore, so be careful on that thing. I said, yes, sir. But, all right, the two frame split, got past her. She's doing good. And we know officially we did have a swarm move in down there at the other box. Went out Saturday morning, not too long after the sun had come up. And I was like, I'm just going to peep in this box and see if they're robbing it or if my suspicion is correct. Well, it was correct. Y'all,
it was a happy surprise.
Oh, it was. I thought we had put an inner cover on there because it's a deep, a medium, then another deep that we had just stacked up out there. And if something gets in it, wonderful. If not, we'll put it up whenever fall gets here. But thankfully, something did move in it. But I thought we had put an inner cover on that thing. Well, when I pulled the lid up, there was bees just caked all over the place. And the higher I got it, the more I realized, uh-oh.
We had another mess on our hands.
Yes.
Because we were not anticipating a swarm moving into that box.
So we was missing 2 frames in the top, and everybody had moseyed up there. Big old fine queen in there, buddy. She's a good, healthy girl too. But they had drawn out those spaces right there. And before the rain got in, I'm talking about I got it by the hair of my chinny chin of getting all that stuff rubber banded on an empty frame and put back up before the bottom fell out. But it was a big enough colony. There's 10 full frames of bees in there. So, Lord willing, we had to do it in between here and there in life, maybe next weekend, and rummage through and go see how well they're actually doing. But whenever I did peep in, I got a glance at the queen, like I said, and she's a big, healthy girl, and she was just going through, hitting every cell that she could find open while I was rubber banding all that stuff together. So, thank goodness she's trying to build her colony.
Amen to that, PJ. He said, I love those easy move-ins.
Oh, it was. It just.
Yeah, I think, didn't we put some of that lure on there and then just forgot about it?
Yeah.
Sitting out there, we just never put it up.
Yeah.
But we really weren't trying to catch a swarm in it.
No, honestly, just the swarms have slowed down around here quite a bit around our little old area. So we just pretty well assumed that, well, the major swarm season is pretty well over, and we'll just, like I say, pack it up whenever it comes time. But thankfully, it's occupied now, so we're going to leave them in those 3 boxes and see how well they do.
Yeah. We're going to put some Beetlejuice in them though, as soon as we can get home before dark and it's not raining one day.
Yeah, got to do that. Outside of that, I've been yakking for already 37 minutes.
Imagine that.
I don't know. Like I said, I was excited. Had to tell my friends what's going on in my life. But you want to do the prayer list? Then we'll open up the chat and we'll get to John's question there.
Blaine gave him some good info on that.
Oh, did
Told him try to get to one of Bob Benny's videos.
Oh, okay. Appreciate you there, Blaine, with no E.
I told him that.
Oh, my bad.
Alright, we got Mr. Mark Miller, Ed and Miss Chris, Mr. Pat, the Dirt Rooster's dad, Miss Deb, Grammy Lisa, got her son, 2 granddaughters, an unspoken request, and if I'm not sorely mistaken, she's on vacation, so I'm going to throw traveling mercies in there too. Then Bob Walker and his family, Tom's mother-in-law and his wife, Bob's friend Jason Cooper, Mr. Donnie, Michael Tangway's wife, Miss Cindy, Miss Carla, BC's chair, and but that's incredible, man. Hoskins' granddaughter, Emma. Let it catch the buttons before you shut it down.
Okay.
Baby Luca and the family that lost their little one for his blessing. Canada Brad. And then, let's see, Deanna Wheeler is Philip's mentee's best friend and her son, Reed. Philip's mama, his cousin, Lorinda, his mentee, Rachel Wilson. Let's see, her sister, Amanda, and her niece, Riley, and her family. They lost their little baby a few weeks ago. And then, let's see, Philip's friend BJ and his wife, the Jennifer Brown family, Russell Amon's wife, Miss Brenda, Bobby's Bees and his family, Minnesota Mike, his brother Dave, Kennedy Bowman, Ed's dad, Mr. Mike Brown, Aaron Frederick, Larry and Sherry Gandy and Larry's mama, the Cheryl Faulkner family, Keith Larimore, Hillbilly Earl, the Paris family, and that's the Dirt Roosters in-laws, Sandy at Icy Mountain Honey, her young family member, Created with Tuck, Pieces of April, the Pescatarian, the Montalbano family, Unsong, who is Bruce with his bees granddaughter, Steve Amos's brother, Danae's grandmother, Minnesota Mike's cousin Mark Mohole, Spanky, the Heffley Hives, Israel, and all those affected by the war, all the storm victims in the last month or so. Mrs. Jaggs, who I think he changed his name to JGD Behaven, I think. Well, no, there he is, Jaggs Farm.
He's on his other channel now.
Oh, okay. Either way, it's Jaggs' wife, and then Sean Balterse's wife, Mr. Ron, who is the owner of one of Blaine's bee yards, Miss Deb's brother, PJ, with Hanley's Homestead, Stafford Mike, let's see, the families of the 4 police officers killed in Charlotte, Mr. Bob Benny, Shabu, the beekeeper that had that horrific storm damage, and then another YouTuber we watch, Acorn Stash. We got his dad on here. And then the 2 new additions were Keith Spillman. His wife Michelle had put on the Book of Faces asking for prayers, but she lost her mama very unexpectedly last week. And then Ricky from Horizontal Bees is looking at having surgery. I think he said he's got a bone spur in his foot that's giving him fits. So y'all definitely remember him. Did I see him come in?
Yeah, Ricky's in here.
Oh, hey, Ricky and Miss Ruth.
That's the end of your
Yeah.
prayer there. Mr. Steve Amos, thank you much, brother. We appreciate it. And I know everybody in here, PJ, Keith, Carl, Tom,
And
Randy. New
That's
members there.
awesome, Steve.
Thank you. And tell you what we may do at the end of the show. We didn't do any for the last couple of weeks, but we may throw out 5 more memberships on our end there as well, to everybody supporting us. And I say, Lord willing, we'll be able to do those one-on-one chats for too long.
Lord willing. Well, hey, DC. Didn't see you come in either. Yeah, Blaine, we figured you'd get a kick out of that one. So you've been enjoying that Acorn channel.
I was going to ask some of y'all went over there and checked out the old Acorn Stash.
Some of his stuff is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I sit there and I'll watch his videos like all the way through for real, because I'll just sit there and cackle to myself. What was this thing doing? Since you redid the screen,
hold down the thing.
Everyone trying to put the, what you call it up there. Nope.
Yeah,
Did it go?
it did.
Oh, okay.
But Mr. Dan said he went over there.
Look, for the ones of you that went, I can't think of the name of the one, but where he tells the folks or tells the younger generation of how they had to boil eggs and use the yolk for the old mouse as a replacement. You talk about some laughs about the younger generation trying to figure out the truth behind that. But yeah, it's well worth sitting down and watching that one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But hopefully that gentleman's daddy is doing as good as can be. I reckon the way he was talking that his daddy's in not real good shape, and they doing everything they can to pretty well keep him comfortable, I guess, from what I was gathering in his chat, his comments there. But keep everybody in your prayers on the prayer list, the ones of you keeping up with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna update. I hadn't put the new additions on the one on the community page, but I will update that.
Did it pin it? Okay.
Yes, Stephen.
Well, chat's open. Y'all come on in if you want to. If not, we'll talk about whatever we get into. We can go back to
We might.
Minnesota, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, bro. Anybody else? I know Blaine gave a little bit of hint, but this will give us something to start feeding off of. Got any suggestions that will help John out on top of what Blaine had helped him out with there? Or did I take it down too quick?
I couldn't read it up there.
Let me know if I need to jot that back
What
up there.
was he saying? How do you know something about eggs?
How do I ensure I am using 1 day old eggs?
For grafted.
Yeah, for my grafting.
Aren't they still standing up if they're only a day old?
Yeah, 1 day old. It's like,
Yeah, like a little grain of rice just standing straight up.
yeah. I'm not even going to attempt to try to.
Oh, he meant 1 day old larva.
Uh-oh. All right, 1 day
I'm
old
sorry. I
larva.
don't know much. I don't know anything about grafting. Somebody else is going to have to take that one. We've never done that before.
No, I haven't gotten into that level yet. Be interesting. But I think if we do something like that to the point of where we're wanting to get more queens for the bees, I'm gonna kind of step back in time, like when we was reading, Lord, I think it was late winter last year, or around December or something like that, reading out of the old timey American bee journals of taking your pinky finger and putting in that cell and enlarging the outer portion of the cell like that, and how they used to draw queen cells by doing it that way. I think I'm gonna try that and just to tinker with. I don't know. I like trying them old school ways. I know we got and I'm not knocking any of the new techniques or anything like that, but I'm one of these individuals that like to try and see how they done things back in the old days, and just to see the results off of it. If does it work as good as they say it will, or is it going to be a complete fumble and somebody just got in there and wrote a letter and just went to jawing about a whole bunch of nonsense? But I know you're not technically grafting by doing anything like that, but old Cage and Brad, I think it was sometime last year, he had put a video out of him taking, I think it was, I can't remember what it was, like the end of a pencil or a small stick or something like that, but he was just knocking out the bottom of the cell and having them draw out queen cells that way. And if I remember correctly, he had some pretty doggone good results with them drawing out queen cells by him doing it that way. What?
Oh, hey, Larimore.
Good to see you, Captain.
Somebody had a really good,
Rewind.
what you call it?
Answer. Suggestion.
Yeah, hope, right there. So from the center of the brood, look outward until you see eggs. The larva next to the egg should be the youngest.
Okay.
And then Ricky said, if you see the jelly in the cup but really don't see the larva, that is the one you want. Everybody's got some good.
All right, Mr. Dan Weaver said, I guess on the old-timey way is that creating a false cup. I would assume yes, sir, on that. And just kind of boogering them into.
But PJ said he's done it similar to how you were just talking about with the eraser end of the pencil.
Erase. Okay. Who was that? I just think Matt. Good to see you, brother. All right, there's PJ's comment. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, DC. He said he cut the cell tile tool and they made a nice cell last year until a queen got past the excluder and they killed them all.
Uh-oh.
No good.
Now, all right. If you do that, then all right. If we go to the old-timey way, like we was talking about, and whether you use your pinky finger or, like PJ's talking about, you use a eraser part of the pencil and knock that down. Y'all reckon it would be best to, whatever frames you do that out of, what was that Mr. Bob Benny was talking about, using a double screen board and just flipping that over and putting that box on top and using that double screen board? That way you know that queen ain't going to get up there to any of those cells. Like BJ says, it works good.
Well, I hope we helped you a little bit, John.
Yeah, brother, there's good folks in here that'll lead you in the right direction, and not just kind of.
There's definitely ones in here that know more than we do.
Absolutely. DC saying I cut the cells with my hive tool and they made nice cells last year.
That's what I was
Okay, I'm sorry.
Told y'all he doesn't listen to me.
Well, when she says that to me, I'll give y'all the same answer. Do what?
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, Mr. Mike.
We wasn't late, Mr. Mike. Where you been?
Yeah, that's 2 times in a row. You wasn't here to see it on time.
And I text messaged you to make sure you got the notification tonight.
Oh, there you go, Danae. I like that. She said collectively we're all in.
Why is it join with me tonight?
Because you're pushing too many buttons too fast.
Ricky's saying 3 days. Mr. Mike, you're the man.
Pretty good, Mr. Mike. He said, isolate the queen on a single drawn comb. After first day, move her outside the isolation frame, and in 4 days, they're all one day old larvae. That seems like a simple way to do it.
There we go. We're getting somewhere now.
Mm-hmm. I know, look, we've all got so much to learn, John. It's like no matter how much you learn, there's still so much more out there. That's why we love this little beekeeping community. For real, Danae. Why would he do that?
Well, I mean, you can feed off everybody.
No, she said buttons pushing buttons? Never.
Oh.
That's what I was talking about.
Well, I was complimenting the crowd, you know.
Uh-huh.
Let me continue my compliment. Good folks that know what they're doing, and they're not going to try to pull the wool over your eyes, as they say, just to make yourself sound good or just to put a comment out there. You can actually get some value out of the information.
For real, Joey. That's so right. He said sometimes we just try to make this stuff too hard.
Is that me again, Joey?
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, Bubba. Russell Cooper, good to see you, brother. We may have missed you there.
Oh, yeah.
What's DC saying? For me, I like to, what?
Let the bees make the cells. I figure they can pick better than me.
I agree with you on that. But I'm a tinker around too.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Tom. He said he saw the bees rolling chainsaw wood chips. Too large to carry, so they rolled them. And he tried to film it. I would love to see that video if you can get one.
That would be pretty neat. Because I don't know if we got a video of this or not. I think we do, and I just have to dig it out of the archives on the telephone somewhere. But you remember when, before you got allergic, we was out there at the open feeder, and you was feeding. It was during dirt, and you was feeding out of your hand, and we had
the little crystals that was left.
Well, that, and we had. I'm talking about just barely put the lid on that honey jar. And before we knew it, I mean, some of y'all has probably seen this, but y'all, them bees, they started migrating over toward the honey jar, which was sitting on top of the little roof we have for the open feeder. And I'm not lying. Those bees were taking that, it was taking them some effort, don't get me wrong, but they was turning the lid on that jar. You remember them doing that? And I imagine if we'd let them go, they'd have probably eventually pushed the lid off of it. But them little girls were actually taking it,
moving the
ring
on that lid. I was tired of fighting the crowd in my hands. There's nothing.
Well, that one was pretty cool because she had the honey in the palm of her hand, and it was a perfect circle of, she had honeybees and bald-faced hornets in her hand. Nobody was fussing.
Yellow jackets. Remember? They were all over the place too.
But everybody was getting along. They was getting a snack, and they wasn't tearing into her or nothing. But it was pretty interesting. I'll see if I'm pretty sure we still got that video.
Yeah, because we put one in. of them doing that, moving the ring. I don't know. I don't remember. I thought she just meant, I think we still got the video of them feeding. I was like, yeah, we put it on YouTube.
Well, I think it's on that one, but we just like edited down
Yeah.
the part to make the feeding just a couple minutes on doing that portion.
Oh, that's impressive, Mr. Dan. That he's seen them hauling out 6-inch strips of wax paper cut from pollen patties and flying off with them. That is pretty cool. He just doesn't have his camera turned on.
It ain't letting me put you on the screen there, PJ. Try coming back in a second, bro, and see if it'll redo there.
It wouldn't give us the option to add you.
With that being said, now put the sort out this morning of the honeybee hygiene. All right. Is that I got my train and went off the track. Is it genetic or I guess just a natural instinct of them pulling that brood out that they know is bad and dragging it off? That's what I was trying to figure out. Because all our bees are mutts. And we had went through last week on doing the dry ice or the what is it, Brian? Liquid nitrogen. Putting a piece of like PVC down on a certain area. Letting the dry ice stay on there, kill that small amount of brood, then come back, 48 hours later to do a count to see how much the bees were pulling out that dead brood and kind of going off of the hygiene or genetic of bee to take and remove quickly any dead egg, larva, pupae along those lines to take and prevent any kind of disease getting in there. But when I seen that little girl hauling that dead larva out, pupae this morning, it got me to thinking on that. I was like, well, is that just like a natural thing that they're doing by instinct, which I'm about to say 99% sure that's most likely what it is, or is that something you want to try to start keying in a little bit more, paying attention on if they're pulling out quite a bit, but I don't want it to sound like you got a bad infected colony, anything like that, but then bees picking up on, okay, this pupae's bad, we need to cut the cap off of it, get it out of here so we ain't got to worry about no disease or any kind of infections getting in and around the colony, whether they're pulling them out for, I don't know, just because by nature the little old baby bee in there just died, or if it was due to the M's, the old mites, or for some other reason, I don't know, the foreign wing, which, that's dealing with them mites and stuff again, but I don't know. She's going off with the phone, so I can't hardly see y'all's comments, yeah. Other than that, that's pretty well all I got out there in the yard, or we got out there. Um, sure, hoping we can pull a little bit of honey, and at least get something, because we got a whole bunch of folks starting to hit us up on when y'all going to have honey. We looking for it. Let us know when you got it. Y'all know how it is.
You have to go.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. Clean up a mess in here.
Nature was calling for old Jasper there, apparently. But
Did PJ try to come back?
no, he ain't tried to come back in yet. I don't know if he's having technical difficulties too. I don't know if anybody else is dealing with rain showers or not. Ours are pretty well, thankfully, moved on out, which we needed it. Don't get me wrong, but glad to see it go.
Yeah, Joey, that's what I'm kind of afraid of.
What you get?
He said he thinks they lost some of their shallow flow from all the rain.
Are y'all, Joey? We're seeing. I don't know if you caught this at the beginning, but are you seeing like different? I'm gonna call it different stages, because we've been watching some areas, and I mean the tassels are all over the place. They're in full bloom forest tassel. Then some of the trees within really just a few feet of one another are just now starting to tassel out and open up. Whenever, like say a tree 20, 30 feet from them are pretty well in full bloom. And this is something else too. I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but we went and looked at a job right down the road. And as we was going down through this little pig trail, winding behind these folks, or going to these folks' house, we was looking at some of the privet. And there was some of the privet fixing to rebloom. Or they just so far behind that they hadn't bloomed.
Oh no, Lee.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Okay. Joey says he ain't seen much, but he been gone too. I don't know. It is abundant this year. Now, where we're currently working at, in the lot next to us, it's an empty lot in this neighborhood, and there's a big old tallow right there, or popcorn as we call it around here, and several areas of wildflower. But I have no idea what the name of this stuff is, but it resembles a little bit the stalk of a goldenrod, but it's only coming up about 3 feet off the ground. And there's a purple flower that's coming off that thing. And I tell you what, folks, they are all over that little purple stuff.
Hey, PJ.
What'd you say, PJ?
Hey, what's going on?
Now look, bro.
How are you?
I figured I better get on here just in case you start talking about mini bikes again.
Hey, we can do it. We can do it. Hey, there's that fella at church. They build them racing go-karts. And we seen him at the store this morning before we got to church. And I told him, I said, look, we're going to be at church a little bit early, so it works out good. I said, I'm going to be hitting you up as soon as we get there. And I was like a 5-year-old going to the candy portion. I went straight to old boy. I said, look, I need to pick your brain on this here situation that I got. And he loves talking about that stuff anyway. then whenever he figured out what I got my hands on, buddy, it was on. He'd tell me you can get this millimeter gasket or, so many thousandths of a gasket, take the governor off and do this and that. And I said, look, I'm not a mechanic. I can build you pretty much whatever you want. But whenever it comes to talking about compression and springs and pistons and rods and all that, you kind of lost me. But he said, I tell you what, Tim, this is what you need to get. And when you get it, bring it to me. And we'll get that puppy running. I was like, you got a deal.
Right. Yeah, and you got it cheap enough.
Sir?
I said you got it cheap enough. You
Okay.
can afford to put stuff into it.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely take that thing over to him. I don't think that's really what Hannah wanted to hear, but
Be all right.
It's kind of nerve wracking. Yeah, Philip said, I think the cricket berries look like buds when they're little.
okay. That may be what's
That's what
going
I
on
was
there.
thinking the other day, but wasn't sure. Because it really, I mean, it looked like they were, but at the same time, it didn't look like it. All right, Mr. Marner, that's a new one on me. What exactly is possum grape?
The sumac is definitely showing itself around here.
Mm-hmm. But I ain't got a clue what possum grape is.
Yeah,
Now,
I
get
like
by-
what awesome break is, what the grape is.
I've never heard that before.
I'm gonna have to look at it up there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, do they make little, I guess, a cluster of a purplish pink berry on them things? Am I on the same track, maybe? What I call the mosquito plant.
That's what I thought you were talking about. I don't know.
I had to check it out. If it's the same thing.
Yes. No, Danae Jasper just needs to get in his own chair is what he needs to do. Wild grapes. Is that what we call persimmon?
No, we got buku of now we do have buku of the native persimmons for little bitty fellas with the things that them old deer love a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess kind of once again going back to Mr. Bob Benny, he was talking about. I'm pretty sure he said they'll pull on that wild persimmon. Now, unless you're talking maybe about the wild muscadine. Now we got that mess.
That's what I'm thinking, not persimmon.
That stuff is all over the place around here.
Okay, Joey said possum grape is grape or grape.
Okay.
I just
Still
looked that up. I don't think I have that in Indiana.
That's what I was trying to say. I was thinking in my head muscadine when I said persimmon, Mr. Dan, but
Yeah, that's it. Them old muscadine.
okay.
We got 2 vines of that muscadine. I'm telling you, y'all, that stuff probably been here 100 years or more. As big as I'm gonna say the mother vine is. And one of them things is it's pretty well at the top now of a longleaf pine. And I got frisky one day and I was gonna try to Tarzan that joker, see how far I could go up. And I climbed that joker like I was in high school climbing one of them big ropes for gym or something. But shimmied up it and it held me about 15, 16 feet. And I was like, man, I ain't gonna go any further than this. got my tail off of there, but
DC.
Hmm.
He was saying, so I have these new colonies. Some of them have 6+ frames of bees. Do you think that's enough bee strength to drop a super on top of them to see or let them run? What do they say? I think
about
that's what you were
7
saying.
frames,
To
I
wait
think.
until you got like 7 or 8 solid frames of bees before you put them on.
Let me try to find.
Didn't Lee send us mosquito gel?
Yeah, he did last
Yeah,
year,
I
I
thought
think.
so.
Mhm.
Yeah, it didn't last that long, Lee. That stuff was pretty good.
6 times comment there to you, PJ.
I did.
See, Mr. Steve Amos said they were in Cave Cove in Tennessee this weekend, and the bumblebees were rocking on the persimmon tree, but no honeybees.
Oh,
I wonder. This is just, I guess, a curiosity in my head. That do you reckon they may not be pulling on certain floral because they choose one over the other? Say, hey, we like this nectar better than we like this. And maybe go after one over going over the other. Or if you have, say, you have a slack season on your best, that they'll be more prevalent to pull on. So maybe something like persimmon quicker or more than they usually do. But thankfully, we didn't have no late freeze, no nothing like that. Once again, everything is just getting it down around our parts and watching everybody else. I mean, like old Keith Spillman, that dude is just having a phenomenal season up there
yeah,
in
he
Carolina.
is. But it's good to see.
Yes, absolutely. But are y'all seeing a good season in your area, PJ, or just kind of?
We are. We're getting a little bit more rain than I like to see, just because it does slow the flow down. But
Mhm.
we've had a pretty decent flow. But we've had a just plumb crazy swarm season this year. Lot more swarms than normal. So I know I'm not close to Tom yet, but I think I got number 22 a few days ago, and I got a huge swarm right outside my kitchen window right now. It's just 30 feet in the air, so it's just gonna go back to nature. But
I even pull you a Cajun Brad.
yeah. If I didn't live in town, I could bring the old shotgun out. But
Oh, you live in town.
yeah, 2 doors down from the chief, so it wouldn't
Yeah, I
take him.
wouldn't
It
recommend
wouldn't
that.
take him very long to get here.
Yeah, they kind of frown on it within the city limits.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to Steve Amos here. Mr. Steve Amos saying, I've heard the bees can fill their crop in one tulip poplar blossom, but it takes 300 visits to fill
To
it.
Clover to fill
To
it.
clover to fill it. Okay.
Oh no, PJ. Joey had a suggestion for you. Just get the chief to do it.
There you go.
You wouldn't be instigating, would you, Mr.
He,
Ross?
he is a pretty cool chief.
Yeah, but still, I wouldn't push it if I was you.
No,
Well, I don't know how things are in your state, but we had this issue not too long ago with some folks doing some quail hunting back behind us. And undoubtedly, according to the laws in the state of Alabama, here we go. But I'm not going to go too deep with it, but they were doing a quail hunt back behind the house. And where the property of the gentleman that's doing the quail hunting is probably, I don't know, 150, 200 yards from our house. Well, I'm all for it. I'm 100% for people being able to exercise their rights, and especially on a good hunt. Well, where the rub comes in is whenever you're peppering my house and my trucks. Okay, that's the problem. Long story short, after a whole bunch of hollering and carrying on with them back and forth through the woods, I ended up having to call the law. And the law comes out and says, well, as long as they're using bird shot isn't lethal. So they can shoot however they want to. I said, you mean to tell me that I can take a shotgun, I can take my shotgun over there, and I can just start peppering people's houses with bird shot, and there ain't nothing y'all can do about it? Well, I really wouldn't go there, but it kind of went back and forth and all that. But finally, we got things resolved. And once again, long story short, the gentleman, he come apologized to me about all of it. And he said, I'll make sure it won't ever happen again. And thankfully, so far, we ain't had no issues out of it. And like I told Hannah, I said, I'll let a sleeping dog lie, if you will. You know, he was man enough to come over and apologize. But where I was going with that, maybe put you some bird shot in that baby and go, you know, it was only bird shot, officer. You know, I wouldn't put the double auto too.
Right. Yeah, I wish they were a little bit lower. I'd go out there and get them. It's a big swarm hanging, but just too high.
Well, if nothing else, you can look at it is they're gonna replenish on the feral end, and maybe next year, whenever they throw a calf or a swarm off, maybe they'll mosey on the your place next year.
Yep. I used to try to catch every swarm. It didn't matter how difficult it was, but after a few years, you just kind of, I'm okay with letting some go.
Yeah.
They're not easy. Yeah, they're not easy. I don't get too worked up about it anymore.
And Matt, we've tried that, and I've yet to have any success on an artificial swarm.
What?
Creating an artificial swarm. Remember, we hung them virgins up in the wild cherry tree out there, and we didn't, which that wild cherry tree wouldn't, but maybe about 15 feet from all them colonies. But we couldn't get anything to come off of it. You were right, Mr. Dan Weaver. I ended up caught because the law that came out that day, it was obvious they just didn't want to do anything. So we're real good friends with a sergeant that is on the same department, but he wasn't working that day. And I talked to him about it, and he sent me some, I guess, state laws or so on and so forth of what should have been done that wasn't done. But he did tell me, he said, you give me the names of those gentlemen that come out, and I'll remedy that on my end. And like I say, once again, thankfully, haven't had any issues, and the gentleman was at least man enough to come and try and make things right on that end. But no, I was not happy at all. Not happy one bit. I'll just put it like this. I started firing back, and I'll just leave it at that. Moving on.
Hey, so that swarm that moved in, was that into a horizontal hive or was that into a Langstroth?
It's a Langstroth we got out there. We had
Tell you what, if you need any frames drawn out, man, that's the one to put it in. Nothing will draw out frames faster than a good swarm.
That's what we're hoping, because we had already checkerboarded up there, because we had foundation that we had waxed. Then we had a whole bunch of already drawn out cones from last year, and we had just stuck them in there as a draw just in case. And like I say, they went straight to the top in that 10 frame deep. So up underneath it is a 10 frame medium. And underneath that, if they make it this far in season, is another 10 frame deep. But the medium and the deep that's up underneath it, we have, I don't know, what's about 10 or 12 of them where we popped the foundation out and was wanting them to draw out for the flow to have cut comb and things like that, because there's a few people that enjoy the cut comb. So Lord willing, they'll start moseying downstairs and fill that in for us.
They will. I don't put any drawn comb in with any of my swarms. Every swarm gets all new frames or just old blank frames that I just need drawn out. I don't give that. They don't get any comb, and they draw it out. Every one of them draws them out fast.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's good thinking, just to get them. They want to draw out anyway, grow that colony.
Yeah,
so what better way to do it?
Yeah, they're ready. They know as soon as they make a new home, that's what they're going to be doing. So, man, they draw a lot of wax in a hurry.
It was pretty neat whenever I popped that lid open, and the comb they had drawn out, they had drawn, like I say, there was 2 frames missing, and they had drawn it out almost halfway of that 10 frame deep. And whenever I rolled it up and looked down there, you seen several of them measuring, everybody hooked together.
Oh yeah.
But they were kind of like diagonal going down through there. And I was thinking to myself, well, look at y'all measuring everything out and getting this baby ready.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
There's nothing about them bees that doesn't amaze me.
Right.
Tom said he slowed that video down and he got it. What he was talking about, them rolling the wood chips. He said he was going to post it tomorrow so we could see it.
Yeah, but once again, I'd like to see that.
That's what I told him.
Some different things like that interest me as well. But, on top of seeing everybody getting their swarms or just going through and doing your day-to-day beekeeping, but it is interesting seeing them do
all them little things we didn't realize they would do.
Yeah. And I think oftentimes we're just so focused on what they're doing inside that colony, besides the typical, well, they're going out and getting nectar and they're going out and get pollen.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of...
we overlook all the little things.
Yeah.
So how many horizontals do you guys have?
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
You like them better than the Langstroth, or you still learning them?
They're easier to work, like as far as being up off the ground a good bit. The only thing for me is like you have to stay on top of, because you can't just go out and throw another box on to buy yourself some time and let them go. they do take more management, I guess, but I like them. I mean, I'd kind of rather have those than a Langstraw.
Yeah, I run a lot of 5/5 nukes, so I'm used to having to be on top of them because they'll build 5/5 nukes extremely fast.
Yeah,
So if you don't watch it, you'll have a swarm hanging in your tree that you can't reach, like I do right now.
yeah. But I mean, as far as like just so much easier to work and deal with, it's like they don't kill my back anywhere near as bad as going through a lane straw pipe.
Right.
Yeah, it's most definitely a back saver. Now, okay, the pros on the horizontal that we've seen, absolutely nowhere near your back aching. Uh,
And I like that, like we have slats on them, so you don't have to open the whole thing up. You can just expose like 2 frames at a time if you want to, because we just have like 1x4 slats that cover the tops. So that helps out a lot too.
uh, now, I will say on our end that whenever they start rocking, and I'm talking about, that queen is doing her thing as far as laying eggs, and once you get that colony good and established in there, to me, I don't know if it's just because you may see more of a little bit more bearding or what, but it seems that they grow much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be, but it just appears that they'll explode way quicker in the horizontal hives that we've seen here at the house versus
Moving up or down in a lane straw pipe.
mhm. Now, granted, the Langstraws, if you're in a 10 frame box or if you got 10 frames or 8 frames, it ain't going to be long before you start stacking another box on top of that. So, yeah, your bees are going to start moving up. You're not going to see nowhere near the beard and things like that because you're constantly adding. But whenever, like the split we was just talking about earlier, we're giving her that whole 30 frame section, and I mean they take full advantage of it, but it seems like they go with it much quicker. Now, the con end, if you're looking to get a good massive honey crop off of it, yeah, you will have to go in there a little bit more often, pull some frames, either throw some more back in that you have or let them draw you some out, especially during the flow. Be a perfect time to let them start drawing out for you. Put them up until you get ready to do an extraction, or if you get enough frames to where you can do your quick extraction, throw them back in later on that day, the next day, let them refill it. I guess that's one of the biggest cons. But now, with that being said,
You can produce more honey because they work it so much quicker.
yeah,
And you're steadily pulling it.
because usually they'll go about 10 or 12 frames whenever we let them go that full 30 frame. And last year was the only year that we wasn't able to let them really go because it's just a bad season all around. But years 1 through 3, it'd be about 10 or 12 frames. And you can start seeing that brood pattern getting smaller and smaller the further away that they got away from that entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would sure enough start filling in, with the honey beyond that. But we really don't see the problem of having to put a queen excluder in, but because it seems like they'll just go to a certain point and pretty well stop with the brood, then carry on with nothing but just beautiful slabs of comb in there and honey.
Yeah, I'd like to work one, but I don't know anybody here around here has got a horizontal. I had an old guy ask me to come check his bees out because he's having issues with them. So I went down to his place, and he built those bee barns out of 1.5 inch material. Like you see, I can't remember the YouTube channel that promotes those. But anyways, he built bee barns using the lay-ins frames. Man, they are a nightmare to work with, in my opinion. The frames are just too big. So I know I won't be doing any lay-ins, but I would like to work a horizontal.
I love them. Like I said, I wish we could afford to get some more of them. Cause to me, they're just so much easier to work.
If you're somebody, out there that's just you're wanting a few hives just to get you, a little honey and things like that, absolutely, I'd say, get you at least one horizontal hive to put out there. But, if you're somebody like Brian and Jen that's trying to grow their yard and create a business with things, and, you need a good, sure enough flow on top of, well, I say flow. If you're looking for that heavy honey crop, then the Langstroth, I'm going to say, will probably be your best bet. That way you can just stack boxes on, let them go and do their thing. But if you just backyard beekeeping, both of them are good to use. Don't get me wrong, but I would say at least try to get you one horizontal and just enjoy that part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I've got plenty of honey producing colonies. I just like to have a horizontal just to learn, just to see how it works, But yeah, I've got plenty of my honey producing colonies, plenty of colonies that I can use for resources and stuff. I just want to do something a little bit different.
It's definitely a totally different experience. I will say that. But we do enjoy it very much. Ooh, that would be cool, DC.
What you got there?
He said Harris was telling me I should build a barn-style roof for my long hive. That way I can run feeder jars inside.
There you go. Kind of like Mr. Jimmy's got. That old-timey barn look.
Mm-hmm.
That would be neat.
I didn't make me some coffee, so I would start yawning.
Trying to think what else on them little horizontals that.
There's not really a lot of cons to them at all.
No. Well, and here's one other little thing. If you build one, or which, I mean, Ricky, I imagine he probably pretty well does this anyway on his production, building them. But the only thing that I wish that we had done was, which we could still do it, it's just getting out there and doing it, but putting our hinges on the other side. So instead of, because we have to, whenever we open up the lid, we're standing in front of the entrances. So we have that constant traffic backup. I wish we'd have set the hinges on the front side where the entrances are. That way, whenever we're open up, we're just on the back side. We're not bothering them trying to come in and out of their entrance.
That's true, Mr. Mike. That's why we don't have more. He said, yeah, there is a con, the price.
Well, yeah, especially material nowadays.
For real. But, I mean, too, there is a lot of tedious work that goes into building them. Oh, Mr. Ricky can school us on that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean,
If I do one, I'll have to build it. I build just about all my stuff now.
Hmm. But I mean, we kind of enjoy what we say. We enjoy doing stuff like that when we don't have to. But if it's something that like we're under pressure to do, nothing's ever that much fun when you have to go out and do it. But I know, Mr. Mike, it's ridiculous what the price of materials is now. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. That's why there's a whole list of projects around here that we haven't done.
because I mean, which 90% of y'all know anyway. We do construction work as it is, and y'all, whenever this is me, and she knows. Whenever we roll them tools up that day, I'm not fixing to drag them saws back out whenever I get home. And it's real tough for me on the weekends to go out there to that truck
And
and
pull it
grab.
all out.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I got to put. I've done this all week long. I'm not fixing to roll cords out, saws, and all that good stuff to tinker around. But
I think that was his favorite thing that I learned when I started working with him 12 years ago or however long it's been. Because now I get it. Because I don't feel like doing it in the evenings when we get home either.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some days where I'll get spunky on the weekend, and like Pastor Larry and Miss Jan sent me a little birthday gift in February, and my whole point of that little gift card, I'm gonna go buy some 1x12 and build a nuke box out of what Miss Jan and Pastor Larry and Miss Leona sent for her birthday, and went out there, and I don't even know if I showed y'all yet the church house nuke.
I posted a picture of it.
But finally got that thing done. Marine varnish, all that. Now we just got to get some bees put in that thing.
Oh, my bad, Joey. Oh, hang on. Let me pin it for a few minutes and let everybody see it. He put a print of, I get like a blueprint of how he built Longhorn.
Oh, appreciate you, Bill.
Yeah.
I copied it, Joey.
I'm
I
about
copied
to.
it. You put it up there.
That's an awesome share, Joey. We do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, he got it fancified.
Got it noted?
I think so.
Mm-mm.
Yep. I downloaded it.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate you sharing that, folks, Bill.
Mm-mm. No, I messed up the video because I hit buttons.
Oh,
PJ, has your back been doing any better?
No, it's about the same. It's about the same. It's just something I'm just learning. I'm just going to deal with. I think.
I was hoping it would get at least a little better for
Too
you.
many years on mini bikes and dirt bikes, Tim.
Yeah. Tell him.
I'm paying for it now.
well, another note on that. The gal that we got that thing from had mentioned, she's like, well, the muffler on that thing gets real hot on the back of the bottom of my leg. And I was just thinking to myself, what.
You're just a girl. That's exactly what he was thinking.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but thank you for saying it. But,
I can hear it hitting the walls in your head in there.
anyway, when I got home, I got that puppy running, and I took it down the dirt road. I understood. I corrected myself in my head. I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have been, calling her out ahead of time until I understood. But undoubtedly,
Get a little warm.
it did, because it looks like, how some of them mufflers, you'll have the muffler, then you'll have like a cover that goes over the top of it, kind of like a
Yeah.
plate to keep you from getting burned.
Yeah.
I guess somebody had removed that, and there's 2 holes in the very top of that muffler because of them screw holes. And every bit of that exhaust was popping up out of them screw holes, and it lit your tail on fire after a few minutes. I was kind of having to adjust my leg back and forth going down that dirt road.
Well, that's an easy fix.
That's what he come back say.
Yeah, I come in and found me some self-tapping screws.
Right.
Stuck 2 of them down in there and got after it again.
Right.
But I do got me a new one coming with that stage 1 kit. Apparently it's got all new muffler, new carburetor, and all that good stuff to get that puppy running
I
a
look
little
forward,
bit faster.
look forward to the videos.
Oh, I'm sure there will be video. If not, just some new haha video.
I figured she was going to pull the camera out the day I was on that thing.
I was just letting him enjoy himself.
She had 911 already up. She was just waiting to call. It was send.
So I was that thought had crossed my mind. I was like, Lord, please, just don't let him kill himself on this thing.
Well, with that throttle cable being broke, it didn't have, your handle there to do the throttle. So you had to drive it one-handed and work what was left of the throttle cable with the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, trying to wiggle around the trees and everything else here in the yard on that joker. I finally got myself leveled out, and when I got down on dirt road across from us over here, buddy, I showered into it just to see what that little thing had. And I had hit like a little heavy gravel spot, and just driving that thing one-handed, I was like, no, you better slow your tail down until you get a throttle you can put 2 hands on here with.
Mm-hmm. Danae said she's a paramedic. He'll be okay. Hey, Mike.
Well,
I can't believe you did.
we're good to see you here, Will.
There's a lot of money in here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money.
Lord knows I hope nothing happens on that thing, but I can see it now I hope it never happens, but if the fire department ambulance does have to come, that everybody's going to go, what did you do, dummy?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just point over there to it.
Right.
It threw me off.
Nice. Oh man,
I hope it don't happen, but
for real.
I had a little Honda 80 whenever I was a teenager, and I rode the wheels off that thing. And, 25 years later, like I say, jumping on that little old joker took me back to being a young teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, yeah, I can do this again.
Right.
And like I think I was telling her about it. I said, but if this is what a midlife crisis is, I'm all about it. Um, what if we did? There's something else I was going to mention in the beekeeping. I guess I should have wrote down.
I told you to make a list.
I don't know.
Joey, there you go again. Instigating. He said, try the throttle to your foot so you can use both hands.
That's good thinking, Joe.
Right? Yeah.
Or should
Foot throttle.
yeah. I wrapped it around my leg. That way I could just, pull my leg out in and out on that thing.
Yeah.
Run it that way. Or do it like I had the old lawnmower. Tie a piece of string to the throttle. Let her go.
He said it's been done. Well, you did have a point there, Mike. It's a lot cheaper than a midlife crisis Corvair.
I already went through that.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I went through that one a long time ago.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why we were never allowed to have anything like that. The furthest I ever got to go was my daddy buying me horses. Never anything motorized. Ever.
Well, my mom and daddy was the same way. They wouldn't let us have. They wasn't going to buy us one. So the only way I ended up with that Honda 80 is I traded a neighborhood kid from a trampoline. And
Good trade.
true story. Yeah, that's a good trade. He liked jumping on the trampoline. I liked the dirt bike, so I went home one day and broke that trampoline down, and we drug all that mess around to his house and filled the dirt bike up, and I went on my way. And history tells the rest on that.
DC, that's what blew my mind. We couldn't have anything motorized, but we had pellet guns and BB guns and 22s and bow and arrows with broadhead tips, not just field tips. And they turn us loose with any of that, but we couldn't have no dirt bike or four wheeler.
Well, y'all was taught gun safety and hunting safety.
But do you think that stopped poor brothers from acting like idiots with BB gun wars in the woods where mama couldn't see us?
No, it didn't stop.
No.
I think about every boy goes through BB gun war phase.
Yes, sir. We did.
Oh,
My
yeah,
daddy
we
had
do.
when he seen us doing it.
We weren't allowed to have paintball guns because they knew we'd be warring with each other. But you can have BB guns to do it with.
Oh, yeah. We have 4 boys, and boy, we went through a paintball phase for probably 2 or 3 years, and that was our life.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
There was always the one that you always went at. You know what I mean? The one in the group that you just tear his tail up.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Larry Gandy. Hopefully y'all still above water over there in Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh, good news, Mr. Larry. That's great. Joey said my dad wouldn't ride a motorcycle. He said it had too many horses and not enough wheels. That's pretty good. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh. Well, if you want to, we got about 5-10 minutes left over here. You want to do the membership giveaway thing?
I know.
Since everybody rode it out with us, and we've been dirt biking and honeybeeing and
Everything.
BB gun war. Let me see how I did that last time.
I thought you had to do it on the computer.
Did I have to?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, we'll turn the Wi-Fi on. Yeah, sitting right here. So y'all bear with us. Let me crank this computer. I'm gonna do the
See how many buttons he can push.
membership giveaway on that right there. But while we on that, we thank everybody that is supporting us once again on that end.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I still can't believe we've been doing this a whole year. That's really hard for me to comprehend.
Well, I'm trying to think of for the 1 year giveaway. I've been trying to think of some things to give away. And we know Ricky's got his new hat. Thought about getting with him, making a donation, or buying one from him. See if Ricky'd autograph his. Definitely get another one from the Dirt Rooster. That man is a blessing.
Yeah.
And since Lee has gotten Hannah stuck on all these different coffees here lately, watching Mr. Ed's live the other day, was thinking about purchasing some of the Abbey coffee, having that part of the giveaway, and maybe getting up with Matt and Sarah again on a couple of hive tools and different ideas.
Do what?
You can never go wrong with coffee.
I agree. I absolutely agree. So I'm telling y'all, this is the best coffee I've ever gotten hooked on in my life.
I mean, Lee, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but
He was there. What?
As much of that Death Wish coffee you've been.
No, that's just about all I drink. I don't even want to go back to Folgers anymore. And I was literally born and raised on Folgers. The name. They said coffee is the other nectar of the gods.
I agree.
Hey, I found a coffee cup online somewhere the other day, and it said, like, all the way big letters across the cup, I'm down to just 1 cup a day. But it was like a 14 cup mug. You could put a whole pot of coffee in.
I have one of those.
Really? I told him I need this in my life.
Yeah, a lady from our church got it for me as a gag gift a few years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I found us over here.
Mr. Larry, I do love Folgers, but it's really, really hard to turn away from this Death Wish coffee. Oh, that's bad. You can't get on that side. Oh, he's spinning the whole chair around.
Okay, here we go. I see Grace again.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy. Hope y'all had a good weekend, especially chatting with you last weekend. How y'all went up to enjoyed yourself on the river as well. Me and Hannah was on a different river on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
The same weekend, and we absolutely enjoyed that day up there. All right, y'all. Ones of you that have stopped that way, y'all pretty well continually stick it out with us all the way to the end. Thank y'all for listening just to our
Rambling.
Yeah, Rambling Joe. Uh, so make sure you're able to receive membership on the channel. That way you can,
Oh, on your channel?
yeah, like in the chats. I forget how it goes. But, all right, here we go. See who the lucky winner was. The gift has been done.
I can't believe you do. DC, Matt, that's even try on.
Hey. Congratulations, y'all.
Yeah, everybody.
Out there. Got it.
Yeah, I turned it on.
Okay.
Just messing it up. Well, PJ, we do appreciate you coming in tonight.
Hey, no problem. I think about it about every Sunday, but I'm just too lazy to get my computer out.
Hey, I feel you, man. I
It's
don't
easier
blame
to sit
you
on the
a
couch
bit.
and watch you on TV.
Uh-huh. We get it.
Well, I don't know what happened to Ed, but you had tried to come in earlier and it just showed like a blank spot. And whenever I hit it, it wouldn't say add to stage. Then Ed, he had tried to come in as well and it done the same thing on him. But we got to talking and I meant to tell him try again, but I forgot to tell Ed to.
Yeah, the first time I tried it, it kept on saying device not connected for whatever reason. But
That's weird.
so I just logged out and did it again, and then you popped me in. So
What month did we do? Wasn't it like August? We did the honey competition. Kimberly was just asking if we were going to do it.
Oh, the official honey tasting?
Yeah,
September.
September. Okay. Yeah, Kimberly, we are hoping to do it again this year.
Well, anybody that wants to
Hey,
have bragging rights.
yeah, in the next week or so, we'll try to nail down a date for sure to do it.
what month are you thinking?
In September.
Okay,
Or we may move it to October.
I'll send you some this year.
That's what DC just said. I'm going to send some this year. But y'all too, we appreciated everybody that sent honey, but y'all please don't feel like you have to send, like a pint jar or something. Y'all can send us a little jar for it. Because I know everybody's kind of having a rough time this year with all the rain.
Oh no, you're gonna get a pint jar.
Yeah, I mean, we will appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
Just in case you don't get a full honey, I'll make sure you get a pint jar.
Will showing up and enjoy it too, especially when she goes to doing biscuits and all that good stuff.
DC's already starting it. He said mine's a bribe. A big jar bribe.
All right, Philip.
No, he went to bed.
Oh, did he?
He left a few minutes ago.
Oh. They say the bride, well, between him and Blaine, I don't know if he's still in here either, but.
Oh man, here goes all the bribes and trash talking already.
Well, what's the bribes for?
Well, you don't remember last year Blaine sent us that gag gift, the Texas Beekeeper Blaine? He sent us a box, and when we opened it up, we literally thought somebody had sent it to the wrong address or something. But he sent us $30,000 in fake money and put a note in there, this is not a bribe, or something like that, with his honey.
I looked down in there and it's movie money. But if you didn't read on that stuff that it was movie money, you could pass that stuff off just like $100 bills because it looked like
Yeah.
$100 bills, and we was like, "Do what?"
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
it is.
feds are probably watching you now.
That's what I was I was like, we have intercepted a cartel package.
Yeah, yeah. They've seen that go through the postal delivery, and now they're watching you.
I hope not.
But y'all let the bribes begin. That's more of the.
And the trash talking. That's what
Yeah.
I like to laugh at. Mr. Larry said, I pulled some awesome spring honey and I cannot wait to win your contest.
There we go. Oh, we had a good time with that. Like, I mean, just even leading up to it, like the bribe talk between Blaine and Philip. I mean, I have to drag Philip's letter out and reread that thing to y'all about, if I don't win, it's great. The women and children love it, and some comments like that. And it's like, dude,
oh no. Blaine said, I guess I'll have to up it to 60K this year.
inflation, Blaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, times are tough.
Yeah, we
had a blast with it, Kimberly. But we're not going to have a diabetic tester this year. Or taster this year.
Now we're going.
Oh, Larry Moore's back. Matt, last year we called it the unofficial official honey taste test contest, but it started as kind of a joke, I guess, but people took it very seriously. We had like 20 something entries?
More than that. I mean,
I can't remember how many we had, but
what are you doing?
oh no, he said I forgot about inflation. 90K.
Yeah, a bunch of people sent us honey. Look, there's his Jasper.
Yum.
Oh,
we miss you too, Larry Moore.
I know the postal lady was probably thinking, what
are y'all doing?
Because for weeks, it was like almost every single day. We was getting honey in the mail and getting bribes with honey in the mail. And I ain't gonna lie, as soon as we got through the house with it, we stuck a knock to that box.
I was digging in.
We was giving it a good old taste test, and the only way that we could make it fair was have somebody from outside come in, and we'll do it like we did last year, give y'all a number, then put your name in the chat. That way you know who you are, but the taste tester won't know whose name the honey is on. And we may have to change up the number, because remember, it was like we had 1 through 5 on taste, texture,
and
color. Yeah, I think it was. And the numbers ran so close between everybody doing that 1 through 5. Me and Hannah was kind of panicking to ourselves. We would whisper to ourselves. Y'all couldn't hear us, but she's like pointing at the paper of, these numbers are really close. So how are we going to do these tiebreakers? So I guess we'll have to adjust the numbers through 1 through 10.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, we'll let y'all know when y'all can get it sent on in, and we'll start getting all that stuff lined out for the next couple months. And
Matt said he wants in on this. But yeah, y'all, once we nail down a date for sure, we'll put a little post on our community page and put, like a mailing address and stuff on there.
Or, well, shoot us an email,
Well,
because that's how we
we'll
do it.
post it.
That way the address ain't black.
I was thinking
Everybody.
get a PO box.
Oh, we get a PO box. Yeah, I'll put it. Yeah, we'll put the PO box on there, no problem. But
Get Lee to do up the event.
there you go. Get him a movie over here. And we get somebody, get it going again. And hope to have this become an annual thing
Mm-hmm.
and continue
Yeah,
that little tradition.
fun.
It was fun.
So we could get Brother Sammy or Miss Joanne to do the tasting this year.
There we go.
We're gonna get it all ironed out. Yeah, then I'm fixing to have to let these out.
Yeah, count me in.
He said I might have to just bring my honey and money to y'all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Take a standovers. Make sure those numbers are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Dan. There was only like 14 entries, but a lot of people sent us like 2 different, like a spring and a fall, and just told us to put one in. That's why we got so many jars of honey. I know Danae Joey's cheating already.
Gotta watch him.
Kim and Blaine. There's gonna have to be a first and second place for the best gag bribes out there. Oh, that's awesome, Kimberly. There's got to be some good stuff.
I'm going to send a jar of honey and a throttle cable.
Oh, no.
That man has already won.
No, you can't cheat like that. Hey, we know how that goes, Mike. For sure.
All good fun. That's it. The name. Yep. But yeah, we gonna wrap her up.
Yeah, my alarm's gonna go off really early in the morning.
And we lose
My
them.
dog's
No.
driving me crazy anyway.
We got him. Oh, let me out.
Yeah, for real. So what is your problem?
Hey man, you know,
He's
you pay me
obnoxious.
no attention. We had it.
I know how that feels, PJ.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
see you guys next week.
All right, bro. Take care.
Have a good week, PJ.
You too.
Once again, thank y'all, everybody. We enjoyed it this evening.
We did.
Lord willing, we'll be able to get into some bees and have y'all beekeeping video out.
Man, you figured me out, DC.
What you done did?
He said his honey took first place with Hannah last year. I think she just said that so I'd send more.
Hey, it sure has with that blackberry you sent. I still don't, honestly, I still do not know where that jar is. Which I imagine if I look hard enough, I'll probably find it. But she's got it put up.
He's not going to put that much effort into it.
It's not on the shelf right over here where everything from last year
No,
is.
DC, I'm savoring it. It's not gone yet.
And maybe ones of you doing that cream honey will. I know Brian and Brian from Flower Street. There's a couple others that some cream honey.
Well, I could buy some from Bob.
Mm-hmm.
And who else is making it?
There's a lot of folks making it this year.
I know Ed is. He was getting into it pretty big. I don't know if we get enough. We'll have to do a runny honey and a cream honey.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
Yep.
God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one.
Yep. Y'all have a blessed week.
Y'all take care.